County Farm Museum is a working farm on Parks Department land striving for energy independence. We want to become independent of fossil fuels here on the farm. One of the most important reasons is that as a traditional working farm, lowering our carbon footprint really taps into the history of farming. Instead of using heavy machinery that a lot of modern industrial farms would use, we try to use our animals as much as possible to do the work for us. For instance, on our vegetable fields over the winter, we let our hogs run through it, and they basically till the field in the same way that a tractor would. We have about 24 acres of woodlands. If we wanted to go in and to repopulate the woodlands with more fruit trees or nut trees or natural fibers, we could go in and clear it with a machine, which would be really expensive. But instead what we do is we let our goats and our hogs run through the woods. The goats get a majority of their diet from the browse, which means that we don't have to buy in as much food for them. The hogs root up everything. That makes up a significant portion of their diet. They do a good job of taking out the invasive species, and then we can reseed later. So because we're located in the city, we have the opportunity to bring in things like spent grains from Brooklyn Brewery. So they produce a lot of grains every day. Instead of bringing food from 500 miles away, we bring it from 10 miles away where the brewery is.
Left over from what they brew, and it's nice and warm. You can probably even see the steam rising off of it. So this is freshly sprouted grains, and the animals really like it.
We feed it to our cows and to our pigs. So spent grains from the local brewery make up 50% of our hogs' diet. They make up 10% of our cows' diet. We also have a windmill on the farm. The windmill has a 10,000-gallon tank that holds the water that's pumped out to the apple trees, pear trees, and peach trees in our orchard. Our farm, like every farm, has to use tractors sometimes. What we try to do is limit the amount of tractor use that we actually have. So rather than getting in a tractor all the time in our field, we try to do as much work in the field as we can by hand. To get around the farm, we prefer to get around by bicycles or in little electrical carts. And also, we have fences for our animals, and they run off solar energy. We're the only agricultural museum that's in New York City, and we have hundreds of thousands of visitors every single year. As a working educational farm, we set an example for the people that visit us. So we think it's important that we have the best practices, the ones that are the most environmentally sound, the ones that are best for the animals, that are best for the soil, and that people can come here and experience and see how a working farm can really reduce their energy costs, can really reduce the amount of pressure they put on the environment. Fossil fuels aren't going to be around forever, you know. It's important for us to see the day in which we're really going to have alternative means of deriving energy.